There is a look at JED. Well, it's time for round number 6. We're going to pass it on over to Marshall and Paul.
Yes, thank you, Maria. We've got JED and Sam Pardee down in the feature match area. And, of course, we're already into the rounds where it's starting to matter for top 8. Now, most of that happens tomorrow.
Of course.
But this is where you get to tomorrow and you look back and you go, is there a way I could have won one more round? Is there anything I could have done? Because you just don't have that much wiggle room here.
There absolutely isn't. Every single match completely matters. So this is a big match here. You want to kind of end day one strong. This is the second to last round. Both players with an incredible record at 4-1, but 6-1 sounds amazing. But of course, that all starts with this round here.
Paul, I got a chance to watch you test the list that Sam Pardee is playing right now. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, we had a couple of rounds off. Corey and Ailey were covering the last 2 rounds, and we got a chance to play with this deck, and wow. This deck was super duper impressive. And I asked a few players who were playing Is It Less. It's not just Team TCG player. Some other teams are also on the deck, and they're just like, look, we get to play with Ancestral Recall. We get to play with a card that lets us draw 3 cards. That is just something that you don't see in Standard. And to have the ability to do something like that is just so powerful. And it just feels like you're playing a different format when you're playing this deck.
It really does. It does make me wonder, do you have a sense for, since there is some overlap, certainly in colors, but even some cards here between these 2 versions of Is It decks, looting versus lessons, what would lean you one direction or the other?
Yeah, I mean, as kind of Monty highlighted earlier, the Is It looting deck is going to be playing the role of the more aggressive deck here, because if the game goes long, then the Is It lessons deck just kind of completely takes over. Once it kind of gets its 1-2 punch, the combo of the Artist Talent plus Monument, you basically just can't beat that, right? Once you kind of get that going, there's not that many ways for JED to actually disrupt that. And wow, Sam actually getting this going already here, turn 2 and turn 3. And I mean, now the pressure's on. Sam Pardee has the ability to just kind of go through his entire deck, draw a ton of cards here. What can JED do to try to slow this down?
That's an Into the Flood Maw?
Yeah. There's a couple of Into the Flood Maws and 1 copy of a Braid as ways to at least try to slow down what Sam's trying to do. But remember, JD also has to put a lot of pressure. Now, Into the Flood Maw does trigger Duelist of the Mind. You get to commit a crime, you get to loot, try to find some good stuff here. It looks like he's choosing to discard the Winter Night Stories, which of course also turns on the Tiger Seal.
Hey, this is a good attack.
Decent attack here. Sam goes down to 14. Now, Sam would like to find some way to deal with the Duelist of the Mind. That's the much more threatening card. And he does. He has the answer there in the Iroh's Demonstration in hand. And you have that fish token to at least chump block the Tiger Seal if you want to just soak up some damage, right?
You see the Quantum Riddler. That was warped, so it is now exiled, but we could see it again a little bit later in the game, perhaps.
Yes.
Pardee, land number 4 hits. He still has Artist Talent on the battlefield to go with the fish token. He's actually going to go ahead and level up here, too.
Okay, so 1 mana. I think he's just going to go ahead and kill Duelist of the Mind with the Demonstration.
So it's cheapened.
Right.
And he's going to discard Firebending Lesson.
Yeah, Firebending Lesson is actually quite bad in this matchup because most of the creatures in the Is It looting deck has 3 toughness.
Oh.
And so Firebending Lesson, you're kind of playing it there to make sure you have a lot of clean answers to, the Simic or Ouroboros deck. However, here, you're going to have to kick it to actually be able to kill a lot of the creatures in JED's deck outside of, Storm Chaser's Talent token. But, leveling up the Artist Talent is huge. We've seen cost reduction effects. You have the 4 copies of the Grand, but with also the Artist Talent, JD has already cast 1 copy of Into the Flood Maw, only has 1 other copy to actually use to kind of bounce that Artist Talent. Of course, you also have 4 copies of Storm Chaser's Talent, but that's really expensive to actually get back the bounce spell. Oh, but he actually does have it here.
Okay.
Wow, okay. That is a big, big tempo play here. Sam Pardee invested 5 mana to play Artist Talent and level it up here.
Right. He got 1 of that mana back off of the Iroh's Demonstration, but that's a long way to go. Interesting. Jean-Emmanuel perhaps staking his claim. Can he out-tempo Sam Pardee?
Yeah.
And we've seen, I mean, I watched you get to the late game with this deck, and it is absurd what you can do. By the way, he did just so.
Oh, yeah. He's just like, look, my late game is way better than whatever you're trying to do. I just want to keep my life total high. You know, the Is It Looting deck does have the ability to kind of kill your opponents out of nowhere with all the cards you can draw of Duelist of the Mind. You have cards like Frostcliff Siege, which combos well with a Warped Quantum Riddler, which can also get in for a bunch of damage. So Sam just recognizing that, you know, soaking up damage now is much more important because the Tiger Seal, if JED manages to find something like a Frostcliff Siege, all of a sudden chump blocking is a much worse proposition because you just get to trample over for a lot more damage.
Right, and what is the fish going to do otherwise?
Right.
Its job is to, well, in this case, it's kind of poetic. The seal ate the fish. Like, it's all coming
Flavor
up
win.
correctly. Yeah. All right, what does Sam have here? He has Boomerang Basics.
Yeah, look at this, using resources here just to keep his life total afloat. And remember, he just fired off Accumulate Wisdom there to draw 3 cards. So it's like, look, if I'm just drawing 3 cards every turn, I can just fire off a Boomerang Basics here just to make sure, you know, we keep that Duelist of the Mind in check.
Yeah, in a control deck, you have to be so careful about how you allocate your resources. But when they start cascading in a deck like this, which plays more like a combo deck, you can just burn cards, you know, for temporary effect and oftentimes keep up.
Yeah, so JD has a really interesting choice here. He can either choose to just play the Quantum Riddler out of his hand, draw 2 cards. All of a sudden, you have a nice 4/6 flyer in play. Or you can go Duelist of the Mind and warp the Quantum Riddler, untap the seal, and get some damage in. I suppose you would be untapping the seal regardless.
Both of our players are sitting with a 4-1 record, by the way, which indicates a solid start at the minimum in Limited.
Yeah, when I was speaking to members of the team about this deck, even Sam, who typically takes, he's not one to have any crazy hot takes. He keeps it very real in terms of expectations and kind of what, you know, going into this event. I talked to Sam Pardee and Matt Ness, and when I asked him about this deck, I was like, how do you feel? What do you think? And Matt Ness just looked at me straight in the face and said, you know, I legitimately think we broke it. I think this deck is broken. And they don't say it they don't say stuff like that very often.
The players of that caliber don't talk like
No.
that. They're not hyperbolic about stuff. You know, I was hanging out with Gabriel Nassif, and we were around some non-Magic players, and they heard that he was playing in the World Championship. They asked him, you know, do you think you're going to win? You know, and these are like sports fans that you're supposed to be like, yeah, I got this. And he was like, probably not. You know, he's like, that's not really how the math works, you know, but I'm going to try.
All right, so JED does have Fear of Missing Out with 3 cards in hand, but that still works. If you play Fear of Missing Out and discard that island out of your hand, you would be drawing 2 cards with that Quantum Riddler on the battlefield. Big turn here for JED.
He's mathing it up.
As you can see, he does have Delirium active, which does matter with Fear of Missing Out. I imagine you play Fear of Missing Out here.
Okay.
Pitch the island, draw 2 cards. Torch the Tower, probably not going to be doing too much here. Oh, and of course, there's Winter Night Stories as well. So drawing a ton of cards here.
Jeez, I guess Jean-Emmanuel can actually keep up on this whole card draw thing too.
Yeah, Sam just needs to try his best to keep the board as clear as possible. Because JD is going to be able to get in for 3. And does Sam even have a way to kill any of these 3 toughness creatures? All I see is a firebending lesson here.
What's our delirium status at? I have 4 types.
Status active.
Got it. Yes. Okay.
Did it take a point of damage? Oh, it must have been blocked by the fish or something. Okay. All right, big turn here for Sam. Something like a Grand would have been a fantastic draw here just because
4.5,
he
yeah.
does have enough lessons in the graveyard here to just kind of deploy out the hand. Right now, you see a pair of Monument to Endurances, and he'd love to have it in play, but it might just be a little bit clunky right now.
Yeah, this is the slower version of Grand.
Trigger.
Sam digging through the deck, actually pitching one of these Monuments. Just need the one, really.
Yeah.
Would love a Combustion Technique. Maybe even a Boomerang Basics. 2 mana. Okay. Okay. And this is...
Well, this is a lot of blockers once again.
Yeah, more blockers and...
And Sam's still at 14.
Right, right. And remember, those talents do have the ability to get something back from the graveyard here, so you can either target the Boomerang Basics, or you could just get Accumulate Wisdom, right? And have that be a way to just kind of reload. Yeah, I think if possible, Sam really does want to find kind of a window to be able to level up the Artist talent again if possible, knowing that JED only has now Storm Chaser's talent as a way to actually cast into the Flawed Maw, as I believe he's run the 2 copies that he has in his main deck.
Play Duelist. Okay.
See Duelist of the Mind back on the battlefield for Jean-Emmanuel.
Yeah, and I see a Torch to Tower, so you could fire that off, target a token,
Okay.
loot off of the Duelist of the Mind.
12.
Right, so if you're missing out, we'll be able to get 2 attacks in, and Sam's taking both.
Second man.
That Duelist of the Mind, of course, is Nathan Stoyer's card for winning this event a few years ago.
Yeah.
We got a chance to look at Jean-Emmanuel's card right before this.
Yeah, JD's card looks really fun.
It
I don't know where
does.
it would go,
I think
But-
it's good.
but playing it turn 2 off of a Llanowar Elf seems pretty fun. Yeah.
For who?
Presumably JED.
Yeah, definitely JD.
Oh, so JED drew, I think, a card that's probably very important in this matchup, Frostcliff Siege, right?
Oh, yes.
This makes it so you can't really chump block anymore with those otter tokens. All of a sudden, you have this threat of just dying at any point with this in play. Presumably, he named Teamer off of Frostcliff Siege.
He's just
Oh, he hasn't
played
cast it
the,
yet.
played the FOMO for now, but
Right.
we will see it.
Yeah. All right, so big turn here for Sam.
Yeah, it feels like Jean-Emmanuel's done a really good job of keeping the pressure up. Every time it goes back to Sam, it's like, okay, we'll deal with all this. When does the dam break here for Sam Pardee and he gets the engine going?
Right.
You have one story.
Because we just haven't seen that part.
Yeah, the mana's a little bit awkward here. If Sam chooses to level up the artist talent, he can't play Monument plus Combustion Technique this turn. Alternatively, he can just play Monument to Endurance and then cast Combustion Technique, possibly wanting to target the Duelist of the Mind that can get in for a bunch of damage. Or you can just pass and kind of see what develops. But, you know, at the same time, JED is representing potentially just a completely lethal attack next turn. I mean, you can even cast Pyroclasm, right? Get that otter out of the way, and then just play the Frostcliff Siege, and that's a lethal attack. Pyroclasm main deck, mostly a nod to the existence of all the various Badgermole Cub decks, right? All those decks play tons of mana creatures, and the Pyroclasm is super effective at dealing with Badgermole Cub.
He's going to decide to go with the Monument here.
Right, okay, so digging. Firebending lesson not very good on this board.
Yeah, you were right. It's not very good in the matchup, is
Yeah.
it? 3 toughness everywhere.
Yep, and keeping
He
up
has Combustion Technique. So he has to kill one of these Fear of Missing Outs? Is
right,
that the idea?
because that represents 2 attacks
Right.
coming in. And if you're JED, I mean, seems like Frostcliff Siege attack certainly makes a lot of sense here. Alternatively, you could just go land Quantum Riddler and try to develop your board, but I feel like JD only has a couple turns left here before Sam starts turning it around with his 1-2 punch. And JD running the numbers here. Frostcliff Siege, of course, also gives an additional point of power to all your creatures. So we're looking at 2 3/3s and a 2/3 Duelist of the Mind if the Frostcliff Siege resolves and names Teamer here. And then I think JD is also mindful of the fact that, okay, Sam, you have 2 mana up. I'm going to assume you have a combustion technique
Right.
and see if I still have a lethal attack through a combustion technique here. Looks like might lead things off with a Pyroclasm.
And that'll just kill the otter, right?
That would kill the otter. Sam could try to fire off a combustion technique, rummage off of the Monument to Endurance, make a treasure, and see if you can find a 1-mana spell to cast.
Yeah, what would, I
there's
guess,
not a bunch,
well,
though.
now a firebending technique all of a sudden actually kills stuff, right?
Right.
But I think he's discarded 3 of those already. Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah, there's 3 firebending lessons in the grave.
Firebending lessons is what I meant.
So
yeah.
it's going to be pretty. So I think Sam's running the numbers. Like, there's no instant for 1 mana that I can probably find.
There's
from
like,
this
I guess,
spot.
1 left.
Yeah.
If he runs all 4 of the lesson. Yeah, he does.
All right. So if you kill one of the Fear of Missing Outs, the most amount of damage that would come in would be 8, right? Because Fear of Missing Out. Oh no, you get an extra combat.
Yeah, that resolves.
Now Sam has to decide, okay, what am I going to do with this removal spell here? And off the Monument as well.
Yeah, he is more or less forced to work with imperfect information here, given the monument.
This has 2 power, correct?
Yes.
He was asking.
Yeah, Fear of Missing Out makes the most sense, right? It just
Right.
deals the most damage.
Or discard.
Discard.
So 5 damage comes in.
And he
oh yeah,
couldn't
that's
quite find
lethal.
it. Yeah, only killing that 1 FOMO
Yeah.
is not enough. And that is game number 1 going to Jean-Emmanuel Depraz.
And you see kind of the, I mean, trying both of those into the Flood Moss to really slow Sam down was so
It
big
was
there.
big. Here's Grand to start things off for Sam Pardee. Much better. You didn't have that last time. Does it survive?
I do see a Torch Tower. Probably just going to be looking to fire this off here.
Torch Grand. Both players on 7 this time, by the way. Last game they were both on
Yeah.
6. Kind of interesting. There's Torch, the tower. That's going to exile Grand.
Can't keep a good grand down.
Sam said it.
And choosing not to bounce the Grand here just to get an extra lesson and draw a card here.
Try to keep it down.
Well, that's
Ooh.
one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, Grand unlikely to attack.
At least this turn.
Right.
Tiger Seal gives you that 1-turn window before it starts punishing you. Hey, this is much better for Pardee, though.
Right. Of course, Grand
the
plus
monument.
Grand plus Monument is a nice little combo here, and you know, with the Tiger Seals, they hit pretty hard, but it kind of forces you to make sure you continue casting ways to draw cards. If JED does have the Abrade here, could actually just use that to get the Monument off the battlefield, still keep up Spell Pierce. Wouldn't be able to untap the Tiger Seal, so you would leave yourself vulnerable to 1 attack from the Grand. Ooh, are we drawing cards? Okay. Taking the aggressive approach here. Remember, the Monument and this is kind of, but the first time I played this deck and I lost is when all I drew were Monuments and no ways to discard cards. That can, of course, happen. Now, there is a Grand in play, but, you know, the way that this deck completely goes off is when you can find the Artist Talent to go with the Monument. So 6 damage coming in. Sam is at 12.
Yeah, that's it's a very big chunk.
How aggressive do you get here? Do you just bounce both of the Tiger Seals?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
And then that gets
All right.
Grand attacking
Yeah.
as well.
Loot, draw another card off the Monument. Sam playing his own tempo strategy here.
Remember, these players are both 4-1. A win here would put you to halfway to the guaranteed top 8 mark.
Right.
And that's still with another round to go. So I mentioned it at the onset of this match, but every single match carries big weight here with 1 fewer round per day on day 1 and 2.
So this is big. This card is the Boomerang Basics. This now puts a 3rd lesson into the graveyard. Artist Talent actually only costs 1 mana, right? Yeah, yeah,
There we
yeah.
go.
Okay, so, and then has a Storm Chaser's talent. Could
Yeah.
play it, but choosing not to because he wants to wait to draw a card and then get a rummage effect for the Monument to Endurance. So now, I mean, Sam just completely turned everything around. He has his entire engine ready to go, but we know JED does have a copy of Abrade here. That's probably going to be pointed at the Monument to Endurance.
What would let's say the Endurance Monument stayed there. What would Sam need to do to now get this? Everything, the plate is set. What does he need to do to get it going?
I mean, at this point, at this point,
spell at all?
well, the thing is, any spell that you cast, any non-creature spell that you cast, allows you to rummage off the artist talent, which then allows you to draw a card off the monument. So that just kind of feeds off of itself.
So it's just anything.
Just basically anything. Of course, the dream is drawing an accumulate
have a
wisdom,
thing that I could
right?
use.
Then all of a sudden, you're never gonna run out of action. But yeah, at this point, Sam just needs any spell, and he already has one in hand.
Yeah, we were kind of hyping up the accumulated wisdom because, like, in a situation like this, that card is actually Ancestral Recall. Like, it's
Right.
blue, draw 3. It's crazy.
And now that the monument's down, I mean, you're filtering through your cards. Ooh, what a
Quantum
draw.
Riddler? I guess it's not it's a it's
Yeah.
a creature, but
There are three copies of this card in the sideboard for matchups like this, where things get a little bit grindier. Your opponents have, answers to what you're trying to do here. So this is big.
You may resolve the trigger.
Yeah, draw 2, Quantum Riddler in play here. So Sam,
so he drew 2 off of it and then got to do it again.
and then drew 2 more cards. Yes.
Spell Pierce targeting Storm Chaser's talent?
Yes.
He's got him down to just 1 mana, and Jean-Emmanuel must just be looking for anything. Jeez.
Oh my gosh!
He's doing
drawing
it
2 more.
again?
How many cards has that Riddler drawn, Sam?
6?
Three bonus cards, right?
Yes.
Wow, what a turn!
Oh,
my
what
goodness.
a turn for Sam.
Can he draw more?
He can keep up a null,
Oh, you can play.
he has Storm
Oh no, he has
Chasers?
3 cards in hand, so it's not quite.
but he played a land, right? Oh, he has 3 on 3 beyond that. Okay.
Yeah, a null and artist. Oh no, he still draw 2. Oh my!
That's
gosh.
8 cards now. What in the world?
Wow.
He's finally out of mana, though, right?
He's like,
There's
you know
no
what? All right,
treasures.
I'm done. Your turn.
3 cards. Yeah.
And when you see turns like this, you just like with what these Izzet decks are capable of. Like I mentioned this before to you. It's just it doesn't feel like standard. It just feels like you're playing a
You're
more
right.
powerful brand of Magic when you see these decks go off.
It really does. Yeah, it reminds you of formats with a bigger card pool. I mean, Standard has a big card pool
Yeah.
these days. 3-ish years worth. I mean,
Right,
that's a
right.
lot.
And I mean, just Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the strongest standard set releases that we've seen in quite some time, and you are really seeing the impact of the cards. So many decks just completely built around some of the engines that we see.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the cards on the battlefield here. In fact, right now, you can even see them Grand there. And the Tiger Seal, too.
Ooh, a little sideboard card here from JED, Ghost Vacuum, as a way to
Oh.
try and slow things down. Now, right now, Sam has probably too many things in the graveyard, but it also, if you have one in play, it does prevent you from actually getting a spell back with Storm Chaser's talent, for example.
And ideally, he would chip away at the lessons until that is no longer a
Yeah,
thing.
actually, yeah, there's 4 lessons currently. So you know, the key number is 3, and with 1 activation from the Ghost Vacuum, JD wouldn't be able to stop Sam from, let's say casting an Accumulate Wisdom or something.
Right, but now we're going to see that number explode because
Right.
we've got Combustion Technique,
And we have a
Abandoned
Grand.
Attachments, Grand. We are in turbo mode here for Sam Pardee.
Yeah, and this is where you get to really see the power of artist talent here. You get to just churn through your entire deck with an active Grand. Everything basically costs 1 mana, and you just get to kind of, just basically do everything. Oh, and there's the monument.
Paul.
Yeah,
Does it resolve?
there isn't a null in JD's hand. I imagine
The answer is no.
that's what you're trying to do here. Oh, letting the looting resolve first. Sure.
Keep that information
Okay,
to
that's
himself.
2
Thank you.
monuments down. But remember, Sam does have access to 3 Riddlers after the sideboard. You're not only relying on the monuments after sideboard anymore.
As like a win condition.
Right.
Right. One of the modes on Monument is do 3 damage to your opponent.
Right, because when you're at this point, you're also just kind of churning through your entire deck.
Yeah.
You just kill all your opponent's resources. You can win with Storm Chaser's talent. You can win with Otter tokens. You can kind of pick and choose how you win. You don't have to win with the Monument of Endurance.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
And Sam has two ways to kill both creatures in play here, if he wants. Iroh's Demonstration, probably want to just fire that one off.
Deal 4 to that.
And that's another lesson in the graveyard, as we mentioned.
Choosing not to rummage because he likes all the removal and just killing everything.
7 to that.
That one gets exiled.
Yeah, that's exiled, and it's 2 more lessons. So yeah,
How big is
Yeah.
he's not going to be able to outpace it, JED.
Right.
3 or 4 spells. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? I cast
Monument plus 3 1
Abandon,
things?
yeah.
So I take 5.
Sorry, it was 4 spells.
4
plus
spells,
Screen, right?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4 spells. Yeah.
Yeah, so I take 6.
6.
Down to 11. Yeah.
Your turn.
Did-
So they have Jean-Emmanuel at 11, but looks like we have him at 13.
Oh yeah, the seal. The shield.
Oh,
Exile.
There
Yeah.
we go. Yeah,
Which
he-
is relevant with Ghost Vacuum in play
end of turn,
because
and
JED can start targeting creatures, and then once you get to 6 mana, you can crack the Ghost Vacuum and make a bunch of 1/1 flyers.
right.
But JD on the back foot here. I mean, Sam has all the advantages here. Now, Quantum Riddler is a nice place to start. I mean, it all comes back to that one huge turn.
It did.
Where Sam Pardee basically drew 4 extra cards off of the Quantum Riddler.
Yeah, and that was one where that's the turn he couldn't find in game 1.
Right.
He kept having the setup, but he was knocked off balance just enough by Jean-Emmanuel each time, and JD was able to get over the finish line. But in this game, Sam Pardee got to untap with most of that combo in place, and now we've seen the result so far.
And now, I mean, you want to be the role of the aggressor if you are on the is it looting side of things. And so this looks like a much more difficult hill for JD to overcome. Sam going a little fist pump probably. He's like, oh, I got to untap.
Yes.
Everything is ready to go. Everything's cheaper. I have a talent to play 2 creatures. All you have is an Otter token. Sam has to be loving his spot here.
Combat.
Yes.
Loot.
Yeah.
Continuing to take. Just wants an accumulate wisdom, right? At this point, just drawing that feels like it just breaks the door wide open.
Yeah, where have those things been?
Oh, just running out Quantum Riddler as well. I mean, that's
2 cards in hand, yeah.
Does he just get 1 card off of it? Feels like a crime.
unfortunate.
Feels like a
5
crime.
mana, 4/6 flyer still replaces itself.
Bounce it in response to the
Yeah.
draw card.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, well, he had 2 cards anyways. So
Yeah,
man.
but either way, the Quantum Ruler is going to get put back into the hand with Into the Flood Maw there.
Yeah, I mean, if you bounce end of turn, it's possible Sam draws Island Spell Pierce or something, and you don't want that to happen. So.
End of turn, I exile.
Sam's going to go down to 7.
Take my turn.
Yeah, he does have access to the combustion technique if he's concerned about some kind of crazy kill involving Frostcliff Siege plus
A
Quantum
huge
Riddler.
Otter, yeah,
or something along
crazy.
those lines.
So he'll keep that option. JED is chewing away at the graveyard with the vacuum, but
Right.
he probably won't be able to get him down to, I mean, unless something dramatically changes in this game, we won't be able to get him to below 3.
Yeah, he did draw Fear of Missing Out, which is a nice card to play when you have no cards in hand, because it'll just give you a free card here. The other option is just casting that Quantum Riddler that's warped. That would draw you 2 cards. But you can't imagine that, like, Sam went untapped land, untapped mountain, go. It's like a face-up combustion technique. So if
It
you
is.
just go
And he
for
paid 2 life for
right,
that, yeah.
so if you just cast the Quantum Riddler, I mean, I'm assuming there's enough lessons in the graveyard here where that would be a lethal combustion technique even through the Ghost Vacuum.
Yeah, there's at least 4. I see 5.
I see 2 abandoned. Yeah, and yeah, so he's not going for it. Yeah, and if Sam just fires off a combustion technique here, I suppose he doesn't have a prowess creature in play, so it's not like he can get in for a lot of damage next turn.
And some.
I do, yeah.
All right, so probably just getting something back with Storm Chaser's talent here. There's Into the Floodmaw.
I level up talent.
Okay.
Get back
Okay.
to the flood mode.
There it is, into the Floodmaw back, but he's tapped out, passes the turn. And once again, Sam Pardee's in that position where he wants to be.
Right.
He finds an island off the top of the library.
Just can draw so many cards here. You can go Island, Quantum Riddler, trigger on the stack. Oh, okay, or just cast it, sure.
Yes.
Draw card.
Yeah.
He's just going to take his card straight up.
Yeah. Storm Chaser's Talent.
Right.
Rummage, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Still have access to that combustion technique if you want.
Wow.
Oh, found an Accumulate
and
Wisdom.
Accumulate Wisdom.
Yeah.
And that is also subject to cheapening.
Yeah, just a mountain of resources that JD needs to fight through here. Just don't see him coming back here, even with that Into the Floodmaw. I mean, what can you even
Down and
find?
inside the boomerang.
And once again, Sam Pardee's just going to pass the turn back. He can afford to be patient here.
Yeah. All he, like, at this point, I think Sam's thinking, look, if I can just survive one more turn, I am good here.
GG.
Yeah.
So he will keep his combustion technique, or if he really wanted the Accumulate Wisdom open,
Yeah.
but you kind of assume that he'll use the technique this turn.
Right. Yeah, you just don't want to keep yourself susceptible to a Spell Pierce or something at this point, right? Once you untap, you can just pay 1 blue. It's literally Ancestral Recall,
It is.
right? With
It's
the
just
Grand
that.
in play.
It is. It's so wild.
Okay, lands.
I would not have predicted seeing
Yeah, I'll
that power level in Standard this
It's
weekend.
amazing. And here it is, Combustion Technique.
targeting it, and I have a Artist Talk trigger. Discard that, draw 2.
Wow. 2 mana, kill a creature, draw 2 cards. What do you think about that one?
I think I would repeat that process until my opponent conceded, and I think that's what Sam's going to do here too.
Yes.
Again, both of these players are 4-1,
Yeah.
so near the top of the standings, you know, a good chunk of the way through day 1.
So this is a 2/2.
Currently a 2/2, yeah.
Sam is tapped out, but he's got a 4/6. You could bounce the 4/6, I suppose.
Another talent. Make
Sure.
another.
He could into the
Yes.
Floodmaw it.
Yeah. It's just not enough here.
Right, he's just going to
Yeah.
have to pass the turn back. I mean,
I mean,
you got to
this
be
should-
careful
yeah.
bouncing Riddlers. Like, that can open up a very bad
Right.
end game
Yeah.
for you if you don't kill your opponent right then and there.
At this point, yeah,
There it is.
There it is.
Yes.
Discard, draw 2.
Wild.
Gosh.
Sorry. I thought you said yes.
Yeah, I said yes.
He just wants to make sure that he can't take him off of lesson.
Yeah, there's just too many.
But there's too many. He even discarded a Boomerang Basic, so
So if Sam can find something like a Monument here, not that he needs it, but that would just ensure that the game gets closed out even quicker.
there's another Accumulate
Another
Wisdom,
Accumulate
by the way.
Wisdom. Oh, man.
These all cost 1 mana.
Yeah, you can just...
I mean, it is the question, though, the thing that you just brought up, Paul, which is like, well, how does this
Yeah,
end?
Right.
And you were saying he can kind of pick and choose how he wants, and it looks like Jean-Emmanuel Depraz agrees with him. So that is Sam Pardee taking down game number 2 and forcing a game 3 decider.
JED is on the play here. Wants to be the aggressor. Sam
Like
on a
Sam's
roll
on
again.
6.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of how you want to start things here.
Yeah, you said Jean-Emmanuel wants to be the aggressor. And it
Yes,
looks like
yeah.
Sam Pardee does not want that to happen.
Right.
Use Torch the Tower on the Otter.
Now, noting Torch the Tower, not a lesson, so wouldn't count to that Accumulate Wisdom that Sam has in hand. They play basically Torch the Tower as 1 mana removal spell number 5 out of the sideboard.
Ah, okay. You see opposing Storm Chaser's talent here.
Yeah, and JD actually has several ways to counter this if he wants. Going
And he
with
does.
the Annul and not the Spell Pierce. Okay.
Yeah, that Spell Pierce tends to get worse over time, but it's a little more flexible.
You can go.
I mean, but Sam's, this the backup plan, right? Just, hey, like, you want to deal with everything? I can just try to win with Quantum Riddler as well.
take 2 for red. 18.
Probably just
It's a mountain.
Quantum Riddler is my guess.
And a water riddler.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just draw 1 card. All right.
Not above it, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Do what you got to do.
I'll be back later.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible Sam might do the same thing here.
I will also.
You're right.
Yeah, and if he finds a tap land, he would probably just run that out here. And yeah, both players doing the same thing.
What does that say to you if you're in Jean-Emmanuel's seat and you see Sam do that? Is it just he had nothing else to do?
Well, not only that, I mean, Sam could be playing around Spell Pierce, right? If he had a monument, maybe you just do the Riddler instead just because you know it can't get countered.
He noticed Jean-Emmanuel kind of pause about that counter spell and maybe, you know, respects the Spell Pierce enough to say, I can just not have to deal with it this turn.
Now, noting this combustion technique will not actually kill the Tiger Seal. Right now, there are no lessons in the graveyard.
It's interesting when you play a long game like game 2. At some point, I'm just like, yeah, it does 8. You know.
Oh, see, this is where Ghost Vacuum is actually relevant here, right? So because now that it's in play with nothing in the graveyard, Sam's gonna kind of have to play the game as if none of the lessons matter cards will actually get to what you need. So this is actually pretty heads-up play. Now Sam's going, well, I'm not going to ever draw 3 cards off of this Accumulate Wisdom. I'm going to cast this in response. After it resolves, then I will cast Combustion Technique to try to kill this Tiger Seal, because Combustion Technique also becomes a pretty terrible card once the Ghost Vacuum is online.
So right now, Ghost Vacuum's on the stack.
It is currently on the stack.
So it can't be activated at this point.
This might be Spell Pierced if JED thinks that's all he has going on here. He does have a braid for the Monument as well if Sam chooses to slam that next turn.
That's a big fight. Can that seal go the distance? It can get in for a heck of a lot of damage if left unchecked.
JD going, do I
may
care?
go for it
Yeah,
here,
he does. Very aggressive line.
It's also tough because it kind of felt like Sam was aware of Spell Pierce, and you did have this window to do something reasonable with it.
But otherwise, that Combustion Technique won't do anything. It actually would not have the ability to kill the seal. So you just kind of go for it, and now at least you don't have to play around the Spell Pierce, right? So.
Okay, abandoned attachments now for Pardee. This is a more friendly, templated version of the cards that we've seen before. Sometimes they force you to discard as part of the cost.
Yeah, if it gets countered, you don't have to discard, which is very, very good about this card. So JD responding here. And if Sam actually draws Accumulate Wisdom now, could fire it off because he did get 3. Okay.
He's going to take this window.
There are 4 lessons in the graveyard now, so Accumulate Wisdom off the top would still be good enough here. And JD with
vacuum's going to be too slow again.
Yeah, and JD with a very reactive hand here. Look at his hand. Annul, Abrade into the Floodmaw. 0 pressure here.
See, the problem with this is he's been able to keep Sam Pardee's board state more or less locked down.
Yeah.
No pressure, though.
And it's Quantum Riddler time here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Jean-Emmanuel has a similar plan coming up at some point. But
Plan B.
Feels like he's all in on this vacuum right now.
Needs to find mana source number 5 here to play the Quantum Riddler of his own. And we'll note, you know, we saw with Fear missing out, but Abandoned Attachments, really, really nice card draw effect with something like a Quantum Riddler. See, this is kind of a short-term thing here, but JD going for into the Floodmaw on Quantum Riddler, like a temporary solution.
Yikes.
Yeah.
It's a very temporary solution for opponent who's on 20.
Right.
And right now, no attackers for Jean-Emmanuel. He has no way to get anything through.
Yeah, finds another Riddler here.
Where's this land drop for Jean-Emmanuel?
Can't find land number 5. Ooh, but that is a really, really great draw, actually.
What did he
One
hit?
of the best. Get Out. So that is, in essence, Scatter variant. You can counter creature spell, so that can actually counter Quantum Riddler.
That was a heck of a draw, because he's about to nab one here.
But Sam has Spell Pierce.
Oh, Pierce, you back.
Wait, do you draw 2 cards now? No, he had 2.
He still had two left, yeah. He would have. He was close.
Wow, that was a huge, huge turn there for Sam Pardee. Big, big board. Lots to answer. JED super behind now.
How about a land for JD
Really
so he
needs a
can
land.
start casting these Riddlers? He's
Yeah.
now got 2 warped. Oh, he doesn't hit again.
Oh, he just has a Storm Chaser's talent. That is not good enough here.
Yep.
And you see, you know, this Ghost Vacuum looks like it's kind of annoying, but it's not the end all be all.
It's
This is
really
not,
not.
this is not a Reanimator deck, right? You know, you can just cast Accumulate Wisdom and just anticipate. That's still a totally fine effect. Oh, and this is going to draw Sam 3 cards
Wow.
with that Quantum Riddler in play.
Combustion technique is.
Take out a combustion technique with the vacuum.
No, it's okay.
Results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Discard, draw 3.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Guess he just decided to let it go.
Build your own Ancestral.
Yeah.
Discard 1, draw 3
Yeah.
with Quantum Riddler in play. And now, I mean, Sam just seems to have a mountain of card advantage. There's also that land. That lets you loot too, right? So if you go down
Yeah.
to 1 card and then you activate the Agnakilla, you get to draw 2 cards.
It's going to be extremely difficult for Jean-Emmanuel to overcome this level of card advantage. He, you know, you called it, Paul. He just had a very reactive draw. You know,
Right.
he's brought in some stuff from the sideboard to help shore up the matchup, but it feels like that's kind of all he's drawn. Like
Yeah.
his hand is right now is annul a braid.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of playing the role of the control player against a deck that probably has a better late game, so it's kind of tough. And that's just kind of how the draw shook out. Like, I imagine JED took a lot of spot removal out that wasn't particularly good in the matchup and replaced it with counter magic, and then he just didn't draw enough threats here. Now, noting that this isn't looting version that JED's team's playing is a little bit lighter on win conditions. It actually only plays 2 copies of Tiger Seal when most decks play 4. Some decks even play Marauding Mako. So a little bit lighter, playing a slightly more controlling role.
Well, let's see how he handles the late game, because we have arrived.
Yeah, there's
There's a couple of threats finally, an otter and a fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just not that exciting.
He's also just behind on board. I mean, that
They're just
Quantum Riddler's smashed.
they're just a
Here's
Riddler,
land
right?
number 5 finally,
Yeah.
but it's tapped.
Sam just continuing to filter out. He can go upkeep combustion technique so that when you draw for turn, you draw 2 cards off the quantum. Oh, excuse me, he has an Iroh's demonstration as well. Never mind. He just has too many cards.
Well, and a pesky land. You know, you just
Right,
can't get them
yeah.
out of your hand quickly enough.
All right, and has the mana to probably tick this up too at this point.
The artist talent.
Yeah. But choosing not to go for it here.
Target that one with the loot trigger on the.
Ooh, no.
I'll just loot. Discard,
Was thinking
draw
about
2.
getting fancy with the land there.
Combustion technique resolves.
Now you can play another artist talent, rummage again, draw 2 cards. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
That's what I should have. That was the mistake.
Yeah, so he should have leveled up if you heard him.
Level up.
Yep, he said that was a mistake.
So it lost out on 1 mana there, but I don't know that it matters.
Discard, draw 2.
And Quantum Riddler is doing the thing right now.
Absolutely, it is. Sam's at 20 life, by the way.
Cast this turn.
Yeah, he could just take
And
it.
that was actually a big, that was a relevant misstep because Sam actually has a Quantum Riddler that he could have warped in this turn
Ah,
had he leveled up the artist talent rather.
Try Riddler.
Yep.
and there it is. The 5th mana finally allows Jean-Emmanuel to cast a Quantum Riddler off of Warp.
It just feels like it's too little, too
right?
late. Yeah, at this point.
And still more defensive cards, too. The Spell Pierce into the Flood Maw.
Combustion technique.
Winter Night Stories.
And
Looks like a control deck.
yeah, I mean, the Ghost Vacuum has exiled, what, 6 lessons?
And Sam's just kind of shrugging it off.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Monument.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, here's the monument.
Uh-oh.
All he needs to do is do this twice, or I guess once, bounce it twice.
Monument.
Yeah, can do it
I'll-
on his
I'll-
turn and then
I'll-
also on JD's turn.
Just any instant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There is an
Sam
abandoned
Pardee's
attachments.
looks like he's got this thing locked
This,
up.
Discard, draw 2.
Remember
Oh,
one
that's a
of the
Quantum
modes?
Riddler.
Or do you discard draw 2?
Oh, sorry, you're right. It's not a. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, my bad.
That's not a spell.
Right.
But he's he's got the abandoned attachments as well here.
Loot.
Yes.
Loot and then on JED's upkeep, you can just cast Abandoned Attachments, triggers off the talent, and then
I have not played a land, correct?
the monument goes off.
Yeah, remember the monument has the
You have to
ability to
loot.
deal
You have to
3.
discard from the loot.
And he found Combustion Technique, which you can just actually use to kill the Riddler. Presumably, he has enough
Sorry,
lessons
what
in the
was that?
graveyard.
Oh, I was looting technical. I'll deal you 3.
So how, like,
It
it's
doesn't
play on-
matter. I'm gonna kill you with these 2 anyway. I'm just gonna cast.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's going to do it. Sam Pardee got a
Made a little bit of a mess
little
of it
shaky
there.
there
Right,
on the
yeah.
last stages, but that often happens when a player says, okay, I have all these things, I have this in the bag. It's just a matter of kind of cleanly finishing the job.
Yeah, I mean, there were just literally Sam can just cast any of those cards in his hand kind of at random, and it didn't matter.
Right.
So, and Sam kind of knew that he had the win. He's just a little bit at the end. He's like, oh, you know, Quantum Riddler. Oh wait, no, that's not a spell. It doesn't matter. He got it done, and you got to kind of just see how impressive this deck is and how good that Plan B of boarding in the Quantum Riddler is, particularly in this deck with all the different rummaging effects. It's so much
You're
better.
always on 1 or
Right.
0.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
You're back up again.
Specifically with Quantum Riddler, rummaging effects are actually better than looting effects because
Very.
you go down to 1 card very often.
Yeah, really impressive stuff, and it's kind of starting to feel like we're going to see a lot more of that deck over the course of the weekend. That's going to do it for this round in the booth. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be back at the news desk setting up for the next round of action. Don't go anywhere.